This is Penguinz0's and Moist Cr1tikal at the 2022 Streamer Awards.
So with that all said, I just want to say, woo, yeah, baby!
Penguinz0, also known as Moist Cr1tikal or simply Charlie, spawned one of the most incredible memes in internet history. But like most memes and trends, it quickly got out of control and would take on an interesting life of its own. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist, and in this video, I'll be taking you on the journey of the legendary MoistVerse. And what better way to begin than taking you all the way back to where it began. On the 1st of August 2021, a channel under the name of Cholulu would upload an impression of Charlie's Woo Yeah meme in Spanish, dubbing himself the Puerto Rican Moist Cr1tikal.
¿Qué está pasando, mi gente? Este es el Cr1tikal puertorriqueño. Nada más quería decirle que me acabo de cagar el culo. Woo! Yeah, baby!
It didn't take long for viewers to pick up on the visual and auditory similarities between Cholulu and Charlie. They had the same face, hair, and tone of voice. Within days, fans brought the video to Charlie's attention, and he decided to make a video on it titled, "The Internet Found My Brother."
So you can imagine my shock and surprise when the internet showed me yesterday that I have a Puerto Rican twin brother. His name is Nathaniel, and if Dominic Toretto taught me anything, it's how to identify family when I see it. And you know what I see? I see family. Now I found a translation for what he says because unfortunately I can't understand my own brother, it seems. I'm not fluent in the language, so I looked up the translation. He says, "What's happening, guys? It's Cr1tikal Puerto Rican. Just wanted to say, I just shit my ass."
It was also at this time that Charlie brought up the idea that this wasn't just another YouTuber doing an impression of him, but rather an alternate version of himself.
Though I'm also not convinced that he's just my doppelganger. I think this truly is me, from a different timeline that has collided with ours, and now we're able to observe two Charleses at the same time. But during this Charles's wacky adventures through the multiverse, a different path was taken.
At the time, Charlie thought of the video as a funny coincidence of meeting his doppelganger, but this idea of alternate Charlies existing at once stuck with his audience and spawned even more impressions of Charlie from different timelines. Variants like Black Moist Cr1tikal, Japanese Moist Cr1tikal, and Arab Moist Cr1tikal soon uploaded their impressions of Charlie. However, the seeds of the MoistVerse had been planted just a few months ago by the channel Green Cat TV with their Fat Moist Cr1tikal sketch.
Hey everyone. It's Moist Cr1tikal from the Chunky People universe, also known as Chunky Charlie.
By now, the MoistVerse had taken root and would continue to be spread across the entire internet. In Charlie's video, The Family I Never Knew I Had, posted on the 20th of November 2022, Charlie began to notice how popular the meme was getting, and he would take note of the different versions of him popping up across YouTube.
Because since this video, there's been a lot of other Moist Cr1tikals all over the globe popping up like variants in the multiverse. I promise you, Marvel's multiverse is dog shit compared to this. So, I don't know how many Charlies my mother gave birth to, but it must have been a lot. Maybe the people on Xbox Live were right. Everyone was fucking my mom, because there's a lot of Charlies out there that I didn't even know about. And not even all just men Charlies. There's female Charlies, too, that are popping up. A lot of Moist Cr1tikals everywhere. It's wild. I'm starting to think maybe I wasn't even born. Like I was made in a lab.
By December 2021, the meme had fully resonated with his audience, and there were over 1,000 different variants of Charlie that had joined the MoistVerse. You could find a Charlie from every country and almost every profession, like janitor Moist Cr1tikal, German Moist Cr1tikal, or even attorney Moist Cr1tikal. The MoistVerse was trending on YouTube, with different variants being discovered every hour, and the videos received anywhere from a couple thousand views to over 1 million. The MoistVerse was having an extremely positive impact on fans. A good example of this is the story of Calamity, also known as Filipino Moist Cr1tikal. Before joining the MoistVerse, Calamity's content on the platform mainly consisted of short comedy sketches, horror art, and memes, but they didn't get that much exposure. However, one decision dramatically altered his trajectory on YouTube, as on the 10th of November, he'd upload his impression of Charlie, gaining almost 1 million views. The story gets even more heartwarming when Calamity reacts to Charlie recognizing and commenting on his video.
I don't know how to respond to this. Like, imagine one of your idols, one of the people that you look up to, they recognize you and they see you and they just know that you're there, and they recognize your existence. That just means a lot. And
Calamity's YouTube went from a few hundred subscribers to around 7.5k subscribers in just a couple of weeks. The MoistVerse had become a huge online phenomenon of fans imitating their favorite creator, and said creator being fully willing to participate in the joke. But unfortunately, all good things must come to an end, and as New Year came, Charlie had some unsettling news for the MoistVerse. By the 2nd of January 2022, Charlie had decided that the MoistVerse had run its course, and that it was time for the meme to be led to rest.
And now that 2022's here, I think it's time it finally gets put to bed. Let it rest. But I thought it'd be fun to give it like a Viking burial, you know, where they push a corpse out onto a lake and then shoot flaming arrows at it till it blows up, so that way they sail into Valhalla with a smile on their face and a full chub in their pants. And what better way of doing that than a compelling, touching, profound, and beautiful animation?
Charlie's attempt to end the trend on a high note was well received by fans, with comments such as, "They've all returned to their original timelines to fight cringe in their home worlds," as well as, "Rip MoistVerse, so glad I got to take part in it. Thank you, Charlie." Making the decision to end the meme before it became irrelevant was logical, because letting it overstay its welcome might leave a bad taste in the mouths of his viewers. However, choosing when and how to end the MoistVerse saga wasn't up to Charlie. He may have been the one who spawned the MoistVerse, but he wasn't going to be the one to end it. And on the 3rd of February 2022, Charlie voiced his change of perspective on the MoistVerse.
I don't claim to be the smartest man in the world, though I would put myself somewhere in the top 10 of that list. I'm prone to making mistakes. I'm not perfect. I may have the perfect height, 5'6", but I'm not infallible. And about a month ago, I made a goddamn fool of myself publicly. I was blinded by my hubris and believed that I had the power to close the portal to the MoistVerse. I thought that was probably where that whole trend was going to fizzle out and die, and I'm always the kind of person that doesn't really like to see something like overstay its welcome. It's just always so yucky and sad to see a meme reach dank status and just get a bit rotten and sour, so I wanted the MoistVerse to go out on a bang and a high note, so I thought by taking it out to the back of the barn and putting it down, it was the right thing to do, but it only seemed to make it stronger.
The proliferation of the meme was now out of Charlie's control. New variants, sketches, and comedy videos based on the MoistVerse continue to surface on YouTube. Ultimately, Charlie decided it was best to join in on the fun rather than trying to fight it. And in the coming week, Charlie teamed up with fellow creators like Joel Haver, Kevin Amarillo, and Churdleys to create content inspired by the MoistVerse. They'll host meetups, crossovers, and create short comedy videos like The Moist Machine and I Finally Met My Family, both of which gained over 4 million views.
Do it, Charlie.
That's immediately hot.
Do it.
I can't get boners and I'm still balding. Cutting my tongue. What's that movie with Nicolas Cage where he's all fucking ice cream? That felt so fucking good. I'm drooling harder than Kevin Spacey at Boy Scouts of America. Woo, yeah, baby!
How did you guys power up without the moist chip?
Oh, well, our AI actually evolved faster than Charmeleon into Charizard and twice as epic. Our AI took over our bodies and now we're all sentient.
Fucking epic.
Yeah,
The success of the MoistVerse had a significant impact on Charlie's career, and as March rolled around, Charlie would go through another career-defining moment. On the 13th of March 2022, the first annual Streamer Awards was being held, and Charlie was one of the nominees for the Best Variety Streamer, alongside Disguised Toast, Ludwig, and Valkyrie. Since Charlie couldn't make it to the awards ceremony himself, he thought it'd be better to give a nod to the MoistVerse by sending 2 alternative Charlies. As the night went on and his moment of truth came, Charlie and his audience witnessed the MoistVerse officially cement itself in streamer history when Charlie received the award for Best Variety Streamer.
I hope he prepared. I hope they prepared his speech. Let's fucking go.
Oh my god, here he is.
Let's fucking get it. Oh, I hope it's a banger. If he doesn't mention The Mummy or Men in Black, the animated series, then he utterly failed. Then he blew it.
I feel like I just pulled a PSA 10 first edition Charizard baseless shadowless
while Belle Delphine was playing with my nipples, and Nico Cotto Avocado was licking my asshole. I just want to say thank you guys so much for this. I want to thank the Moist Critical team, Charlie, and Charlie. And I just want to say this is the best thing that's happened since Netflix got rid of cuties. It's the best thing that's happened to my life since I first got my first Moby Huge and sat on it for 24 hours straight. I just want you guys to know that this means the world to me. And I feel like Thanos snapped away half my sadness, and the remaining half is just going to stay with me and make me a happier, more complete person, and I will grow. So with that all said, I just want to say, woo, yeah, baby!
That was the best goddamn speech of all time.
Winning the Streamer Award meant a lot to Charlie, and sharing that honor with the MoistVerse made it even more special.
Unironically, the award means a ton to me. I mean that with full sincerity. It means a lot. I haven't really won a lot of things in my life. I've never been great at, like, anything. I think the only thing I've won that I can think of off the top of my head was the chess tournament, the PogChamps tournament from like a year and a half ago, where I checkmated XQC in 6 moves. The throbbing mate. I ended up winning that tournament through losers bracket, the participation trophy side. So I think, like, I actually think that's the only time I've won something. So winning this is super special to me.
Although it had been a year since the meme came out, it was still relevant as ever, and just a few days before the awards show, a solo game developer called Logic Leo released a fan game called MoistVerse of Madness on Steam. On the 20th of April 2022, Charlie would upload a video of him speedrunning the MoistVerse of Madness game. Throughout the game, you get to play as different versions of Charlie and attempt to defeat the final boss, Evil Charlie. The game wasn't too ambitious with its scale, but that didn't matter to Charlie and the others who played it. Fast forward to 2023, and the MoistVerse is still making waves online. The annual Stream Awards was rolling around the corner, but Charlie wasn't nominated for any category, so naturally, members of the MoistVerse weren't going to stand for it.
Star-studded as far as anyone who's anyone is here.
What?
Wait,
what are we doing here?
What is going on?
What are we doing? What are we doing? Okay,
pretty
guys,
much we weren't nominated this year, and it's a bigger spit in the face than spitting in God's face. It's like slapping God on his freaking ass and then asking him to come show up anyways. I don't know why we were nominated if you don't have the respect to give us the time of day.
Yeah. Is this a protest?
This is a protest. Yep, you got it right on the dot.
Y'all making me feel like Moist Cr1tikal right now.
Yeah.
A second-class citizen. What does that even mean? A second-class citizen.
Oh, because 2.
It's like an afterthought, but not like a good afterthought, like the Chow Garden in Sonic Adventure Battle 2. More like a bad afterthought, like the script in Avatar: The Way of Water.
Yeah, have you ever heard of the franchise Hunger Games? That's my arm right there.
You are in the
I kind of carried the franchise, and you didn't have the guts to nominate us, so now we're on protest.
Charlie later addressed the situation in his video titled "Huge Drama at the Streamer Awards."
As you all know, last year I was the recipient of the prestigious Variety Streamer of the Year category. This year, radio silence. I wasn't nominated for anything. Now, me being an adult and being the strong, hulking, masculine embodiment of what it means to be a testosterone-fueled titan, I can handle that. I'm okay with it. I understand. But not everyone is as mentally strong or has my level of fortitude, so there were riots, there were protests at the Streamer Awards ceremony. And I kind of just want to talk about that a little bit because I think it's important too.
Dude, it suits you, man. Huh? It suits you like the fancy. For real? I'm nervous.
I watched it unfold live. The chaos was almost too much for me to bear. People protesting on my behalf, I never would have wanted such a thing, but as you could see, it was inevitable. I wasn't nominated for any categories, and people, they had enough. So, as you can see, a few rioters showed up there. I don't know those men, and I can only imagine the ones that didn't make it that must have been protesting right outside. But these 3 noble heroes snuck in. As you can see, they're strategically planted in the blind spots of security, like a game of fucking Assassin's Creed. They had no idea they were there. And, well, it only escalated from there.
This goes to show how active the MoistVerse currently is, and that their numbers are still continuously growing. The 2 alternate Charlies that received last year's Streamer Awards were accompanied by a 3rd member, the YouTuber Talentless Rider, who was kicked out the previous year. This year, he documented what it was like being Charlie for 24 hours.
A few days ago was the 2023 Streamer Awards, and most of you know last year I actually tried to sneak in with Trent and Ben, but we couldn't get in. But this year the Streamer Awards rolled back around and I was thinking of trying to sneak in again, but luckily I didn't have to because I got an invite. Last year my friends Joel and Kev went as Critical, and this year they got invited again, but they needed another Charlie to be part of the crew, so I tagged along with them, and finally I got a chance to see what's behind those doors, and I'm excited to tell you guys everything that happened.
The MoistVerse seems to be one of the longer running memes on YouTube, even outlasting Charlie's expectations. However, internet trends change quickly, and it's anyone's guess how long the MoistVerse will continue to be relevant. But what we do know for a fact is that the MoistVerse will forever remain a part of online history. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and click the video on screen.